So I realized the other day when I uploaded that video that even though I had spoken about this on Instagram and TikTok, I really haven't uploaded much to do with the F100 project on YouTube. Quick rundown. We bought this F100 out of Laura in South Australia about 3 years ago, and the idea originally was to put Fairlane running gear into it and a 302 auto and just cruise it. That idea got put on the back burner for so long that towards the end of COVID, I picked up a LS1 at a reasonable price, and I also picked up 2 more dentside F100s. That resulted in me really wanting a four-wheel drive F100, and in the States, I'm sure you guys all know that highboys are quite easy to obtain, as well as highboy parts are relatively easy to get. However, in Australia, F100 highboys aren't as common, so being from the four-wheel driving background, the Patrol chassis seemed like the obvious choice. And when we made a couple of measurements and found that the wheel base from rear wheels to front wheels on the F100 compared to the Patrol was 2 millimeters in difference, I decided that that was definitely the way to go. It's just nothing better than stripping a Patrol out. Being that I do CNC machining, my idea was to make a kit, whether it ever gets sold or not, but make a kit that bolted all of the F100 components onto the Patrol chassis without any major modifications. So I went ahead and scanned both chassis and brought both chassis into Fusion 360, overlaid them so that there was clearance where there needed to be clearance, and designed mounts to bolt onto the Patrol chassis like the one here. This one picks up off the front sway bar mount, plenty strong enough. The front grille support picks up off the recovery points, or the original shipping points for the F100, and it all bolts on. The back of the cab, I've actually got a triangulated, or a truss. There's 2 trusses, one to support the tray or tub and one to support the back of the cab, and everything bolts down, and yeah, it's a no welding required kit. This Patrol chassis came factory with an inline 6. They also came out with a inline 4. The inline 4 for an LS swap is obviously the preferred engine. That's the engine that you'll see in my other videos we've removed to put the LS in, because the engine mounts sit a lot further back, where in the 4.2 and 4.5 they sit quite a ways forward, which blocks a lot of accessories, alternator and aircon, for example. So yeah, the decision was to originally run the TB45 with a big turbo on the side of it and call it good. Of course, like we all do, Facebook Marketplace popped up and shoved a 4L60E to Patrol transfer case adapter in my face with a modified 4L60E to bolt straight in. So that was all good. I went to bolt up the torque converter to the 4L60E that we'd picked up and found that the torque converter wouldn't spin. That then resulted in me pulling that apart and finding that the oil pump gear had split into a multitude of pieces, most likely by incorrectly spacing the torque converter to flex plate. From there I've cut the mounts off and designed up some mounts that are using a Patrol front caster rod bush. Fucking engine mounts fell off. Damn it. So I remembered I had these and I'm like, oh fuck. I really can't be bothered turning the lathe on today to make up some sleeves, and it'd be a real pain in the ass to have to do that, and as it turns out I already have sleeves. Yeah, so I've given it so there's enough room to make up a bracket and it'll be close but not touching. Better yet, I think there's enough room for me to do a custom alternator bracket and get the alternator sitting in this area, encapsulated in, and they probably will be a little bit more solid than I want, but this is most likely either going single turbo or twin turbo, given them have to make up manifolds. So yeah, anyway, that's the Monday update. The video next week should have this up and running. I've had it running on the ground. I did happen to have a little bit of a mishap with a bucket of petrol. You see I moved the bucket of fuel this time and I didn't catch it on fire. Yeah, just that. And other than that, yeah, it's good for an unknown condition motor. I was quite happy. We now have, if you saw my last video, the brakes are hooked up. I've also got the steering column hooked up and have modified the shifter column so that actually leaves inside the cab now, and my column shift will still work to the 4L60E, which was really important because I want the interior of this car to look as factory as possible. So if you like what you see, chuck us a like, chuck us a subscribe. I'd really like to know if it's better to go twins or single on a build like this. I'm leaning towards single. I've also been looking at Mustang superchargers, so the M122, but I'm not really sure whether the sizing will be ultimately the right way to go. So if anyone can leave a comment, that'd be fantastic, and if you want me to go into anything further, just yeah, chuck up a comment and I will go into further depth with it. Anyway, thanks for that and see you next Monday.